helping women with invisible illnesses. Oh, I think it just caught up with me. Oops. One of these days, I'm going to figure out how long it takes this thing to catch up with me. But anyway, I'm really passionate about helping women with invisible illnesses realize that you can still lead a pretty healthy and active lifestyle. It's just not going to be the one you had envisioned for yourself. But on a side note, people ask me sometimes, why do I do these videos? It's obviously not tonight's topic, but I was just talking to someone about it, so it's fresh in my mind. And when I was first diagnosed with fibromyalgia, which which was so devastating at the time, but boy, I wish that was my only wish that was still my only issue. However, um, I couldn't find any positive influences who were dealing with what I was dealing with. And I went online. I was just at first I was so excited to connect with anybody who could understand what I was going through, but all the support groups that I was finding were just, gosh, they were such a race to the bottom. And my life sucks. No, my life sucks way worse than yours. I don't need that. Y'all, it is so hard. It is so damn hard to keep my chin above water sometimes. And today is probably the worst I have felt since I got to Texas in mid-October. Um, Why? I don't know. There's not a lot of rhyme or reason to this sometimes. It's weather, it's stress, it's dietary, it's there's so many different factors that play into this, but I don't feel good today. And I went to my chiropractor this morning, and usually I'm like, let's just do it. I don't care how hard you got to crank, get this fixed. And we had the conversation this morning, and I'm like, yeah, you might need to lighten up a little, which surprised him because that's never my attitude. And then he started working on me, and he was like, what happened to you? Like, I don't know. So, anyway, I kind of feel this is a throwaway topic. This is not, I really wanted to bring something new to the table tonight, but I haven't talked about this for a few months, and it is kind of a fun Friday topic. So, let's talk about some science backed benefits of whiskey. Now, I will tell y'all, I am not a whiskey connoisseur. I have a lot of friends who are really knowledgeable about whiskey, and I respect that and admire that. But I'm more of a tequila girl. I find it frankly a lot simpler. I mean, it's you go with 100% pure agave, no colors added, and you're gonna be pretty golden. Whiskey, there are so many dang variants, but it does have some great health benefits. And this information is from, oh God, I can't read my thing. It's from coolmaterial.com. It's a great quote, and I did not attribute it, so I'm going to assume it was anonymous. It's safe to say that alcohol is both a tonic and a poison. Well, sure, it can be beneficial, but too much of anything's not good for you. But whiskey helps fight cancer. It contains the same cancer fighting antioxidant as red wine, I know I'm not saying that right, ellagic acid. But whiskey has it at a much higher level. There's a lot of good health benefits to single malt whiskey drinkers due to this high ellagic acid content. Number two, whiskey is a pretty good choice for dieters. There's no carbs, there's no fat. It's about 70 calories an ounce. So you can indulge without completely destroying an eating plan. Of course, depending on what eating plan you're on. Number three, it's good for your heart and it helps with stroke prevention. There was a study out of Harvard that suggests, good Lord, that suggests that one drink of whiskey a day might help prevent ischemic, gosh, it's going to be a long video, ischemic strokes. Moderate consumption of whiskey is linked to a lower risk of cardiovascular disease like strokes, heart attacks, and peripheral vascular disease. Now, my poor auntie, she'd had a really severe stroke, and we knew at this point she wasn't going to make it. And she was on hospice care. We're all at her house, and I was horrified. Her feet were just purple. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I dropped to the I'm not a foot person at all, but I dropped to the floor and I started really gently massaging her feet. My sister-in-law said, sis, don't do that. And this was the first time I found out that my aunt had peripheral vascular disease, but she did. And my sister-in-law said you could dislodge a blood clot and give her another stroke. So how's that for a hell of a situation? So it's kind of damned if I do, damned if I don't. But my point is, if you can have a shot of whiskey a day and help prevent that, might not be a bad idea. Number 4, whiskey can help lower your risk of dementia. Excuse me. There was a case study done in 2003. People who drink 1 to 6 drinks a week cut their risk of dementia almost in half. That's a tremendous statistic compared to non-drinkers or heavy drinkers. Of course, if you overindulge, you're going to screw yourself. Number 5. This one really pertains to me personally. Whiskey can help calm you down. It's not only good for the heart, but it improves circulation, which is going to help with oxygenation. And as a result, it can help lower your heart rate and quiet your nerves. But of course, moderation is the key, because if you have too much, it's stressful. Number 6, this one's my personal favorite. Whiskey is really good for a cold. Now, I have Southern roots, and I grew up, my parents would make us cough syrup they'd warm up some honey, whiskey, and a little bit of lemon juice. So good. The honey coats your throat. The lemon juice helped cut the mucus, and the whiskey helps with circulation, and it dilates the capillaries. So it was a good decongestant. Number 7, whiskey is a pretty good choice. Now, granted, diabetics aren't supposed to indulge very much, but whiskey is a pretty good choice for diabetics. Why? There's no sugar, which means no glucose. And finally, number 8, whiskey is a good digestive aid. It boosts your pancreatic and gallbladder secretions, which is funny because I've talked about this before, but now I'm wondering, I don't have a gallbladder. I'm like, well, I wonder what that would do for me. I'm going to have to look that up because I'm really curious. Anyway, the high alcohol content in whiskey stimulates pepsin production, and pepsin is the main enzyme that breaks down the proteins that we consume. But as always, I mean, really with anything in life, moderation is the key. But certainly when we're talking about alcohol, don't go crazy. Don't go get hammered. That's not good for you. You know that's not good for you. And those of you who deal with chronic pain, I've heard, it's really sad. I've heard from so many people since this ridiculous opioid scare started. Chronic pain. Now, I'm not a big pill person, but I need to break the pain cycle, But I know a lot of people who were taking meds regularly, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, they're cut off. Because since that person is an addict, by golly, that means you're an addict too. And it's really sad how many people have come to me and said, I don't know what to do. I'm drinking so much. And the problem with that is the alcohol is inflammatory. And if you're dealing with chronic pain, you don't need to add. You probably already have a lot of inflammation, systemic inflammation. You don't need to add to the problem, but the hell else are you going to do? You got to be able to break that pain cycle. And that was way off topic. So, and I have no way to tie that together, wrap that up. So on that note, I'm going to go. I hope y'all have a fantastic weekend. I will be back Monday at 7:00 Central. Look, I am certainly not an expert on whiskey, but I can get advice from someone who is. So if you have any questions, I guess, drop me a line and I will do my best to help you. Y'all take care, and I'll see you Monday. Thanks. Bye.